Alrighty. Good evening, folks. I'm up to a grand total item level of 243. That does include 4 set, so I'm going to head into some delves here. 14 keys. That's funny. So since we're in a delve, time for some more delve thoughts. In specific, we are going to talk about plants. More specifically, we're going to talk about how proven winners, they kind of suck. And that's a interesting thing for me or anyone to say. And when I say it, I don't.
Glory to the Sindora.
Oh, let's see. I think I've got a. Yep, cool. Everything's good. So when I say that, I'm not referring to their plates.
This is for you.
Oh, yeah. I get beat down. Okay. I don't think I'm done yet, but we'll try it some more. There you go.
Quick to counter.
When I say that proven winners suck, I do not mean the quality of their plants. Their plants are amazing quality, as I would entirely expect from a company that is very big on proprietary coverage of their plants. You know, like everything they do is under patent. It's super expensive, and that's really the problem. For the most part, their perennials are not too bad. For those who may not understand what a perennial is a plant that comes back every year. Let's see if we can talk this guy up here. Ah, shnikey.
Be quiet. Time to
Yeah, that's the hardest pack that you can get. Okay, we've got one more try. Let's give her a whirl. So, proven winners are very good as far as just the plants that they produce. However, because a combination of the quality of the plants that they produce, but mostly the fact that everything is proprietary to proven winners, makes it cost prohibitive to bring them in. And it's not so bad when you're dealing with their perennials, which are plants that come back every year, but it is... Ooh, get out of that.
I can't attack. I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay. Really? Oh, buddies. We might need to downgrade this. In fact, I think we'll have to.
Plenty to do.
Yep. Looks like a tier 8's just too much for me at 243. I think when I did them on my Death Knight, I was mostly dealing them as tank. And despite apparently the problem with Death Knights receiving extra damage when their Dancing Rune Weapon was up instead of reduced damage, it was still pretty simple to do. Okay, we'll go ahead and drop it down to tier 8. Okay, so still talking about proven winners. So they provide shrubs, perennials, annuals, and not really trees at the moment. but I'm sure they're in the works. It's hard to fight some of the larger companies that are already doing trees. Sounds like a weird thing to do, but there are a large number of tree companies out there that sell trees and do a lot of tree hybridization and a lot of stuff that, you know, basically is under patent for them. Ooh, get me out of there.
Breathe deep.
Back up them. Myself up. This and this. Nothing like playing a paladin, just hit what lights up and have a nice day.
I don't think so.
Though I should be doing much better with Valyr here. So, why do I say that proven winners suck? It's not because of their plants, it's because everything is proprietary, and specifically for their annuals, they're incredibly expensive for the small-time grower. So why do I care about this? Well, because technically I'm a small-time grower. I kind of stumbled into the nursery trade after, well, my mom had some health issues, and it is technically the family business. So, I am a nurseryman by trade. I specialize in plants for the high desert region, and yeah, the high desert region of the Great Basin, which basically is this big area covering a whole stretch of eastern Oregon into Idaho, Washington, kind of in Montana, California, Nevada, all sorts of stuff. So, one of the things that we do is we sell a whole lot of, you know, annuals, perennials, all that. I can sneak up on people with this. Come on, ranged Ultradon. So, proven winners in general are very good plants, as I've said, but they are incredibly expensive to be dealing with from the retail standpoint. And most specifically, the reason they're expensive is not just because, you know, you're paying a little bit extra for them to have their name. It's that everything is branded. So you need to buy fancy cups, you need to buy marketing materials. They do help somewhat with a lot of it, but really the whole debt structure of it is pretty damn onerous. And just kind of not worthwhile.
Quiet.
And, you know, a lot of it just comes down to whether or not you have something similar available for cheaper. The other problems with proven winners, because, you know, there's never just one, is that they basically have a large number of creators and influencers kind of under their thumb. You know, some of them are actually regionalized to me, which is one of the problems that I have with them, just because they are very close to our area, but they're not quite our area. So there's a lot of things that people will follow that just doesn't work for my area in specific. You know, I'm at 4,000 feet elevation. We definitely do not have a last frost date.
I don't think so.
There's just a lot
I'm out of range.
to make it not great for us. So when I'm looking at somebody like, say, Garden Answers, you know, which does give great advice, but it's not always the best advice for my particular area.
I need to get closer.
But we have an absolute ton of customers that, you know, think this lady's the bee's knees, you know, that she just is absolutely who you need to be going for to get any idea of, you know, exactly what to be growing. And unfortunately, it's not true, and because she is in the pocket of proven winners, it makes it, you know, even worse because, you know, now I've got to deal with, people asking for proven winners specific items, which, you know, isn't a lot, but it's enough of a problem where I know of at least one former customer that doesn't go with us anymore just because we don't carry proven winners, and that's kind of a shame. And if we could put proven winners in different containers that were non-branded and save ourselves some money rather than buying or having to buy branded containers from proven winners, that would do really well.
My loyalties are my own.
You know, if we could wait. Alrighty, let's go find us another little mob to fight. That's
This is for you. I don't think so. I'll take care of that. I can't attack that.
get an honor for stunning this dude.
Make haste.
What are a few other problems with proven winners? You to do
One moment.
Dominar. But not on our Trainer's Blade.
Repeat. I need to target something.
Really, if you're trying to improve at the game, going into delves, especially ones that are probably
One moment.
considered technically outside of your item level expertise, really good. So, the other thing that I dislike about proven winners is I feel like they cheat, which is an absurd thing to talk about with plants, but it is quite true. So,
Target something.
a great deal many of their items, and you know, as I said, they come in branded items. You know, everything comes in a proven winners branded cup that is rather expensive. You can't use different cups. You have to have certain signage.
One moment.
You know, so a lot of it is, you know, just kind of crazy, but oh. Oof. Yeah, I knew I was in trouble. Those guys are always a pain in the ass. Okay, send me all the way to the beginning? Yeah, no worries. So, the other thing
One
about their
moment.
branded cups, most specifically for their perennials, not so much their annuals, although the annual situation is weirder. But for their perennials, their 1 gallon is slightly larger than everybody else's 1 gallon, which means that you end up with a little more nutrition, you end up with a little more soil, you just end up with a slightly better plant in general compared to a standard 1 gallon. And it's not because the plant is all that much better, it just has a chance to put out more roots. You know, it's not going to be competing as much for, you know, space and everything the way a non-branded plant would be. I guess I should have gone to here. You know, so it's not really that big a deal, but it just kind of rubs me raw that they're, you know, basically cheating on stuff. And that in order for me to raise possibly my own perennials with them, you know, because it is pretty common to order like perennial plugs in and everything, that I would have to buy these extra pots that cost me more in soil, that I have to pay, because again, you are paying for these. You know, so not only are you paying additional money for this little pot that says Proven Winners, but you are also paying additional money for the extra soil that goes in it. I feel your pain, Evo. I've died here a bunch too. And same with Innovits. In a tier 1, not a great look, dude.
I will not die like them!
Be quiet. Can't catch up.
Yep,
They won't know it's it.
more health.
Be quiet.
Jumping out like anything.
Too far away. Be quiet.
Yeesh. It's all over the dang map.
All I was asked.
So yeah, Proven Winners. Not terrible plants, but not a great company to have to work with. You know, it's costly. They basically buy reviews. Well, I mean, it's a strange way to put it, but yeah, they basically buy reviews. Just checking to see if there's any little knickknacks over here for me to get. No, looks like we're good. And they kind of cheat. So, you know, you're paying more for products that are honestly just not that great compared to what you could just get from, you know, a generic. And they're not an evil company, at least not yet. From what I understand, they are being bought out by... This is new. Haven't seen this yet. I'll dance with him. Just a little bit. Take that. Yeah, I needed some of those. 245 now. Delve equipment, show me. Okay. On the plus side, they're all hero, but on the downside, ain't nothing. Okay. Yeah, I've got enough bonus rolls coming. Oh, and I definitely needed that. 245 to 248. Nice. Yeah. So I don't consider them terrible. It is definitely a sad thing whenever anything is purchased by private equity. But they're not something that I go out of my way to purchase, and in fact I actually do my best to go out of my way to not get their items for our stock. Left him there. So that's a rant on proven winners. Hope you enjoyed it. I think I'll maybe record one more Delve Thoughts before bed. But have a great night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble. Bye.